live in a Gambia once again. Muta Baruka, first time ever. Arika Badu. Yeah, man, it's the first time that Sizzler and Muta Baruka say a stage in the Gambia. You cannot miss it. Pick up every Gambia massive. Yes, sir.
Harlem Shake.
Yes, Gambia Massive is the 11th edition of the Root Homecoming Festival, bringing you a big-time music jamboree live at the Independence Stadium on the 10th of May 2014, bringing you Sizzler Kalanje, all the way from Kingston, Jamaica.
Too long now. Yes, you gotta shine that light. Yes, we gotta make it right.
Muta Baruka.
Yahuro Africa. This poem is a rebirth of a people, arising, awakening, understanding. This poem he's speaking, have spoken.
Erika Badu.
In fact, she's a queen to me. Her light beams on me.
And from the smiling coast of mankind, Jaliba Kuyate and the Kumareban, and many other Gambian artists are gonna perform live on stage that night. Tickets, VIP $1,000, covered pavilion $200, uncovered pavilion $150. You cannot miss it. It's on the 10th of May 2014. Sizzler Kalanje live in a Gambia once again. Muta Baruka, first time ever. Arika Badu. Yeah, man, it's the first time that Sizzler and Muta Baruka say a stage in the Gambia. You cannot miss it. Pick up every Gambia massive. Yes, sir.
Just a few days before the 2014 Roots Festival takes center stage, engagements regarding preparations for the biennial event are still underway. One of the latest among these is a pre-Roots press conference. At this press conference held at Kairaba Hotel, top echelons of the Ministry of Tourism and Culture alongside other stakeholders continued with dissemination of actualities in line with the 2014 edition of the event.
I have been told to speak on the cultural aspects of the festival, but before I do so, perhaps it might be useful to try and put into context the cultural programs, as well as perhaps to provide an overview of the International Roots Homecoming Festival, whose 11th edition we are poised to celebrate from the 9th to the 17th of May 2014. It could be recalled that the International Roots Festival was instituted by the government of the Gambia under the wise and dynamic leadership of His Excellency, the President of the Republic, Sheikh Professor Dr. Alhaji Yahya AJJ Jammeh, to forge closer ties between the Gambia and Africans in the diaspora in recognition of the historical fact that Africans, wherever they may be on the face of this earth today, have Africa as their continent, and they have their roots in Africa. And this was further bolstered when the late African-American author Alex Haley, when he wrote the book Roots, and the television miniseries that subsequently followed the publication Roots, which kind of resulted in an unprecedented influx of African Americans and other peoples of African descent to the small village of Jufure in the North Bank region of the Gambia, where Haley traced his ancestry to. And since then, the International Roots Festival, which started as an annual event and latterly turned into a biennial in the year 2000, is becoming stronger by the day. Every edition gets better than the one that preceded it. And this is why the 11th edition, we are confident, will be the best ever organized under the stewardship of our dynamic minister, the Minister for Tourism and Culture. The theme for this year's festival, as has been the theme for many editions of the festival, and we decided to leave it there because the theme is good for all times, and that is celebrating unity through culture. We are celebrating the unity of African peoples through culture. We believe that we can use culture as a platform to unite our people and to forge closer ties with our brothers and sisters in the diaspora for meaningful cooperation and development. At the same time, we want to underscore the fact that whilst the festival is a cultural celebration, because if we look at the festival programs, the bulk of it, we dare say, is cultural in content. But whilst it is a cultural celebration, we also wish to underscore the fact that we are not just celebrating our culture for celebration's sake. We are celebrating our culture because we want to preserve those cultural values and those cultural norms and our heritage, which accounts for our identity as a people and as a country and as a continent. And this is why we want to preserve our cultural values. So if we give up our culture, then we have no culture. And if you have no culture, then we don't have an identity as a people and as a nation and as a continent. And this is why the Roots Festival is so important to the Gambia and to the government of the Gambia, because we have a leader who is a Pan-Africanist. I think he has demonstrated this in many, many ways. And the Roots Festival is only one small example of the ideals of Pan-Africanism that we nurture in our leadership, in our government, and in our country. And this is why the 11th edition will be held from the 9th to the 17th of May. We are well poised as a national coordinating committee to organize this festival, and all hands are on deck, from the staff of the ministry headed by the Honorable Minister, to the National Center for Arts and Culture, to the Gambia Tourism Board, and indeed all Gambians, even some of our brothers and sisters from the diaspora who have come to settle in the Gambia and to live here and to give up, those countries where they were born, and who recognize that this is their home. Some of them are members of this organizing committee, and we want to thank them also for their cooperation.
As emphasized